They look at the world, they know there's something not right. There's something that's not the way they want it to be, and they feel uneasy about it. But they try to placate those fears, not by facing them, but by trying to find a way of making them disappear with words like, oh no, we would never allow a police state. Not in America, no, never allow a police state. Britain, never allow a police state. I wonder if they said that in Germany just a few decades ago. We'd never allow a dictatorship in Germany. We're a land of freedom. And look what happened. In a few short years, they had a grotesque dictatorship. And that's how fast it can come. From the Weimar Republic to the Nazi dictatorship in Germany by Hitler and company was a few years, not even a few decades. And the greatest weapon of any dictator is to divert attention from the people. So they're looking the other way and allowing the dictatorship to be built and imposed and all the infrastructure put in place. So by the time they absolutely have to face reality, it's all there. It's all done. There are two types of control. One you can see, touch and taste: communism, fascism, dictatorship like apartheid in South Africa. You know that you're in a dictatorship. That has a finite life, because when people know the situation they're in and they can see their controllers, then the desire for human freedom, it may take some time, but that desire will eventually overturn that control. The greatest form of control is dictatorship you cannot see, the prison without the bars, as I call it, with the facade of freedom and this farce called democracy, which is ludicrously connected to the word freedom when it is anything but. And this covert control leads people to sit in a prison cell thinking they're free because they can't see the bars, because they appear to be free, but appearance is all that it is. So when you had this apparent explosion of freedom around the world, when the former colonies were given independence, what actually happened was dictatorship they could see was replaced by dictatorship they couldn't see, far more potent, far more effective. You will be in a situation where you will be monitored by cameras all the time. I mean, in Britain now, it is estimated by official organizations that in a normal working day, someone in a town or city in Britain is captured on 300 plus cameras. That's now. And the surveillance is not for the population in general. You know, if you read Orwell's book, 1984, you know, Big Brother was not focusing attention on controlling the whole of the population or monitoring the whole of the population primarily, because most of the population would just sit there and stew anyway, and were no problem to this control. That what this surveillance was targeting, and what the surveillance is targeting now, are people who are challenging the system, people who are becoming aware of what's going on and are having the guts to try to do something about it. We are now at the point where those institutions and these institutions of control and surveillance and all the rest of it are now being put in place. So this hidden dictatorship all this time is now coming to the surface where it can be seen. And this gives us an opportunity for people to actually start to do something about what's happening. Because instead of being some far off sometime over the rainbow, it might come sometime, it's now in our face. The police state is staring us in the eye. And it's getting more and more imposed upon us and more imposed on society every day.
22-year-old Saeed Trump and 22-year-old Amir Noor al-Din. Namir was considered one of the best photojournalists in Iraq. Their names were added to the video here by WikiLeaks. For clarity, they carry their cameras, not with the pilots what they saw. Moments later, they're attacked.
Come on, fire!
face a choice right now between fear and love. Fear is the four-letter word that has controlled this planet and this human race for thousands of years. Love is the word that will set us free.